Welcome back everyone to part 2 of conquering all the demons. Let's go! Today we are going to keep speedrunning the already completed levels I mentioned on part 1, which in part 2 will be twice as many levels. So sit down and enjoy the video. In this video, we're going to enter the 1.3 update. X-Step was added with this song. The blue orb and pad were also added to the game, and lastly but not least, the demon category was added in this update, thanks to Demon Park by M2Cool. Apart from all that, there weren't any major changes to the game, but we're going to see a lot of new features and also a bit of an increase of difficulty, which is something I really enjoyed. This was also around the time that Jump to Dash was starting to get some traction with popularity, and a lot of more levels were made in this era. Here we have Darnok's second level and his first demon in his official account. This is the first level using the new song and was made entirely in the same update, meaning no future objects were used. Now, Darnok was one of the first big creators of the game, making lots of levels that most likely influenced a lot of later levels, so we're going to see a lot of Darnoks, especially in the beginning. Y-Step would also later become a very famous level in the community, and for the time, the level isn't half bad. It had good and engaging gameplay with not too many fakes, which is nice to see, and it didn't look unpolished. As always, there isn't much to say in the decoration department, but the level had good structuring and it had some good music sync for the time. Overall, it's a well balanced level, but it didn't really stand out as much, so I will give it a 6 out of 10 overall. Offline by Spawn is just a very forgettable level to me. Nothing really going for it, and it just comes out as very bland and lazy. Now, it's not horrible, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't see what the level had to show for. Some parts looked unpolished and unworked, and that just made the level look clunky at times. It looked more like it was made under an hour and used the new features of the update, which RobUp likes a lot when creators would use the new features, especially the first few days. Although I won't say this level is trash, because it has some good decoration and the gameplay isn't as bad as the other levels I have played, but I feel like this level just aged poorly in my opinion. 5 out of 10. Nice. And here we have it, our first garbage level in the series. I love all the levels, especially due to RobUp actually rating these, which to me at least makes no sense. This level looks to be very clunky and weird, but gameplay wise, it's so dumb that actually makes me laugh. The first 4 spike jump literally tells you what you're about to play. An unbalanced level that feels like a 6 star for most of it, and out of nowhere there is a straight fly at the end of the level, which, let me tell you, back then almost nobody was going through that with their potato phones, so this was most likely hacked or had a secret way. Also, this is the first level that continues even though the song has finished, and I hate that. I don't understand why levels used to do this. It feels like they were creating the level with the sound turned off. Why would you do that? Demon World is a second medium demon and a funny level to go through. Nevertheless, this level is garbage for sure. 3.5 out of 10. This is Trustra's favorite level, and don't get me wrong, this level is actually very well done, but I don't think this is a masterpiece. This is the first level of the series to have a theme in decoration. It actually tries to have something more than a cube jumping over spikes and blocks. The level starts off in hell, with very dark and red colors. The gameplay is also somewhat difficult with some timings and fakes. After hell, the level gets easier and happier, indicating you have now entered heaven, and it makes it clear that you are there. A creator having this much thought in a level was unheard of, and even though I don't consider this a masterpiece like Atrusta or other GT YouTubers, this is the first actual good level since Demon Park. Now, it's not perfect, gameplay wise there's a lot to improve on in my opinion, and it's definitely not a medium demon, but definitely ahead of its time. 7.5 out of 10. The second hard garbage level, and this one is worse than Demon World. This level looks atrocious and plays even worse than it looks. No correlation with the song whatsoever, no structuring or decoration, and the gameplay is the worst so far. It's not really difficult, it's just annoying, having many bugs and dumb timings you have to take into account. There's a part of the level that you have to wait around 20 seconds to a jump that you cannot even buffer, meaning you have to react to a blind jump after 20 seconds of doing shit. The worst level so far in the series, having probably the worst gameplay and decoration, and the only good thing is that it's barely a minute long. Thank God. Absolute garbage in my sincere opinion. 2 out of 10. After a trash level, we jump right back to an actual good level. Good music sync, good structuring, and coherent decoration for its time, with nice and fun gameplay. What more can I possibly ask? Now, the level wasn't anything revolutionary, but to me it looked like good levels could actually be made at this era. it set my standards a bit higher in terms of quality, even matching the Rob Knob levels of the time, which is very impressive, and I haven't seen another level do this well. This is when I took notice of Rabbidical, since he also made Extreme Park and is a pioneer of all demon levels, making fun and difficult demons for the time. In my opinion, one of the best creators of the early era of Geometry Dash. 7 out of 10. Level with minus 24,000 dislikes is very impressive. Now let's see if this level deserves them. Yep, holy shit, is this a bad level. Decoration is horrible, and don't get me started on the gameplay. I don't like when the difficulty is hard carried by blind jumps, meaning that the inputs are incredibly easy, but remembering when you have to jump while the jump is literally off screen is very annoying. Also, the song finishes before the level does, and as I said, I hate that. Again, a creator made a level without listening to the song, or what am I missing here? The level is just a complete mess. Decoration is all over the place, and while the beginning of the level is messy, the end is empty and looks like the creator just got tired of the level midway. The third garbage level earning a 3 out of 10. Final Destination is a very forgettable level, having very standard memorization for old demons, which basically means that it's a combination of pick a path and blind jumps. Deco wise, there isn't much there, it looks bare bones and doesn't look like it was made to look good. Old levels look like they were made to torture you, until you get it right. The only real complaint I have on the level is that at the end it gives you epilepsy, so yeah, a warning for that. Just a forgettable level overall and nothing really much more to say, so 5 out of 10. Another themed level, which is always nice to see. The problem with this one is that it's not as great as Hell and Heaven. The use of mirror portals in this level is absolutely atrocious, and in my opinion, the mirror portals is just a dumb way of trying to be a memory level since you can't see the transition very well, and it becomes very annoying to play with them, especially old levels, where basically half of the level you don't have a clue where you are going because they would spam these mirror portals. Nowadays, the mirror portal is non-existent in Geometry Dash, so I really appreciate that everyone dislikes them because they are horrible, and the level becomes instantly more annoying when they have the mirror portal. The level itself is pretty easy, especially the second half is much easier compared to the first half, which I don't mind at all, but the balancing could be much better. Also, I don't understand why the level would have a random 15-second auto part, which although it made the level easier, it also made it more boring, since there wasn't anything visually interesting. The level is very average, even though it has a theme. The use of mirror portals and the lack of anything in particular makes me want to rate this level a bare 5 out of 10 overall, saving it from having the trash title. First of all, let's all appreciate the custom song for a minute. It's going to be a long time since we hear another one. I really like this song, and the drop goes absolutely hard, like holy shit. The level itself is very unique to say the least, but I had so much fun beating this level, it didn't make any sense. Maybe it's just me, but this level was enjoyable to play. And it's also the first hard demon of the series, which is nice to see. Deco wise, let's just not talk about it because it looks atrocious. But it's so bad and so random, I had a good laugh on it. And with the song, I had a blast playing this. I'll put this level in the unique category and rate it a 5 out of 10, mainly because of the decoration. Another Rabbitical level, how nice! I really like Rabbitical, as you may already heard. He had very good music sync and very enjoyable gameplay for the time. Now, he also made harder levels than most of the demons from that era, but the gameplay isn't memory heavy like some other hard demons. Some parts actually require quite the precise timings and skill to pass through, which is something I appreciate. I do think that the deco and structuring for this level is a bit worse than his other levels, and some of the balancing seems off-putting. But I did enjoy it anyway, so it's another good level from Rabbitical, 6.5 out of 10. And there we have it, another 11 demons rated and completed. Now, there is still many demons I already completed, but I felt like if I covered any more in this video, it would end up being way too long, and so I felt like 11 was a good number to finish on. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, and I will see you in part 3. Let's go!